It's March 2nd, and my apartment is a little dry because it is still technically winter. Just a minute. I think I'm due for my second beard grooming. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Yeah, I think I'll do that tonight. And the reason I'm making this video is because I want to talk a little bit about Arkham Horror, the card game. Now, I bought this a long time ago and I've never played it because stuff happened, like my leg got screwed up and I was in the hospital and I was sick and other things happened and I just never got around to playing it. And I finally decided I'm going to figure this game out. And I've never played these kind of card games. Now, there are competitive card games like Pokemon and, what is it, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering, where your cards give you powers or weaknesses or offenses and defenses and things like that. This game is similar, but it's a cooperative game. So you can play with from 1 to 4 people, and you are working toward the same goals and you help each other. So I unboxed it, organized all of the components, and I'm watching some tutorials on YouTube to figure it out. And there are mechanics that I have to learn, but once you understand the mechanics, I think it'll be pretty easy to play because it'll get repetitive in that way. You know, there are certain steps you have to follow. So I'll do that along with one of the tutorials. I'll just play through. There is a starter game in here with recommended characters to use and certain things, and it has a very, very good overall instruction book about how things work. But there are some things I didn't understand, so watching the tutorial really helped. Now, there's also a rules reference, which is something you should look at as needed. So this one, I'll have to figure this out as well. And this sheet outlines the campaign that comes with the box set. So the first thing I found was that this needs a lot of table real estate. There are just a lot of things that you have to access. So some of the people I saw on YouTube had these character trays, so I bought some little plastic food serving trays from the hyaku shop, the dollar store, that I'm going to use to organize my characters when I play. I was going to play with one person, but I noticed that some people are playing with 2 characters, and that might balance things out more because characters are strong and weak in different ways. So if I play with 2 characters, it should make it easier in some ways. But I haven't decided when I play my first starter game if I'm going to play with 1 character or 2 characters. So there's this bag, and you put certain tokens in it. And when you draw the tokens, it helps you. It's like basically like your dice to tell you if you succeed or fail. So there are tokens like this, which says, I can't remember what this means. There's a skull, and that means something. But a lot of them are just like this, like -2 to whatever you're attacking. So that's a penalty to you. And there are more of them, more kinds of tokens you can use, but these ones go in this bag depending on what level of difficulty you play. So it comes with the bag. Now the rest of them you just make piles, but I wanted to keep them organized, so I bought little plastic containers. So these are the companions to those tiles. And then I bought this one this is full of little brains. Now these brains are sanity, or rather insanity. So as certain things happen in the game, you might become insane. You might get driven mad. There are also these cards, which are, what are they called? Well, basically these cards let you do things. So you have to spend points to do things. So these are the points you can spend to do certain things. Like if you have a card that allows you to investigate in a certain way, but it costs 2 to activate it, you'll have to spend 2 of these little points to activate it. Then there are these cards, which are hearts, like a heart from your chest, and this is damage that you can take. So you might get damaged in the course of the game. These cards are also in the bag. These are not the success or fail tokens. These are other specialized tokens that might be good or might be bad. Like an enemy appears, or you gain an advantage. Like there are certain things you can get when you draw those. These are called Doom cards, and Doom cards advance the bad guy's story. So when you finish rounds, when you finish certain rounds, you have to place a Doom card, and a certain number of Doom cards advances the bad guy's story, and that leads you towards failure. And other tokens you can get. Yeah, these are... Where are they? I've forgotten one of the sets of cards. Oh! Yeah, also in this box, yeah, they're mixed in together because they work in tandem. So the red ones are Doom tokens, the green ones are Clue tokens. So when you get a certain number of clues, you can advance the good guy's story. And if you can complete the good guy's story before the bad guy's story gets completed, you win that campaign. So that's how these little tile things work. Now, there are also character cards. I'll just hold up one. Now, that's one of the characters. And it has how many hearts he has. He has 9. And how many brains he has. He has 5. So that means he can take 9 damages and he can take 5 insanities. Then at the top it has head, book, fist, and feet. So these are his attributes. So he's got 3 intelligence and 3 investigative and 4 combat and 2 like movement or agility. So that's what you have to use in conjunction with other tiles to win or lose certain scenarios. And there are 5 characters that come with the base set. So I put all of the characters in their own little pouch with all of their cards, all of their own cards. So keeping all this organized was a big hassle when I tried playing it the first time. Now these are the cards for the different scenarios in the first campaign. So there's the Gathering, and then that's followed by, I think, the maybe Midnight Masks and the Devourer below. I can't remember the order of these, but I know the Gathering is first. So these are the cards you shuffle for the first part of the campaign. These are the cards for your character. You also shuffle them. You can draw them for certain skills or weapons or buffs, bonuses to your character. And then these are event cards and action cards and things that you might get called on to play, which will populate the rooms you're in with good things or bad things, or events might happen. So basically, you'll have the same overall objective, which is to clear the hero's side before you clear the bad guy's side. But because of the cards you pull, different things happen. So you read the text on the cards and you build the story as you play. And you succeed in finding clues or fail in finding clues based on the things you draw from this bag. So you can lose, you can win, you can replay it. And the mechanics will be the same, and the overall general progression will be the same, but the events along the way will always be different. So it is a fairly replayable game, you know, even though the basic story will be the same. All of the individual events will be different every time, and then whichever characters you play will change your strategy or how you go about trying to achieve the goals of the game. So I'm going to play my first starter game tonight. I'll probably play a couple of starter games, and I might record one of my games, just to show anyone who's interested what it looks like. As I said, I've never played these kind of games before, so I know all of the ideas behind the games. You know, cards give you bonuses, or cards give you weaknesses, and normally you'd compete against another person with their deck. So it's all about building your deck and using your deck in a clever way so that you can increase your chances of success. But I'm pretty happy with it. And now that I've got it all organized, it's going to take up a lot less space on my tiny coffee table. I might use my dining table, but I'd rather use the coffee table because I've got the TV right in front of me. I can watch the tutorial as I play and get used to it like this. And yeah, so that is Arkham Horror, the card game. Now there's also a tabletop game which looks pretty involved. Now this game, they say it's up to 45 minutes per player. So if I play by myself, that could be, you know, up to 45 minutes to get through it, or maybe more, maybe less, but that's what they estimate. So if you play with 2 people, it's an hour and a half. You play with all 4 people, it'll be, you know, 2 to 3 hours, because each person gets 3 actions per turn, and you have to complete your turn before another player can go. So you do your 3 actions, then another person does their 3 actions. And that's what makes it take longer when there are more players. And then once you clear the certain objectives for that area, once everyone has their turns, that is a round. And there's the mythos phase, where you get some of the story. There's the investigative phase. Then there's the enemy phase. And then there's the upkeep phase. And then you go through those phases and repeat as necessary until you clear that area. So that is Arkham Horror, which I'm going to try playing soon. Anyway, that's all for this video. Just a short video to talk about this game, show some of the parts of it, and I'm going to try playing it pretty soon. Thank you for watching.